Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to map white to green lookup table on live camera preview in Expo React Native for Android using Camera X and Media 3 effect. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. So here you can I have just recorded the video, so I'll just play the video recording as well. So first it will ask you for camera permission. Just give the camera permission, and here I'm moving my camera. So here you can see wherever it finds the white color, it maps it with the green color, as you can see over here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just moving my camera, and I'll click on the capture button at the very end to capture the image, and that image is displayed inside the image view. So that's all we are doing. Now let's see how to implement this and get started. So here what the next step is, to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template, as you can see over here. But if you want, you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank, less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also, the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately, the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why, but anyways, for our case this is fine. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device. So you don't have to run it, you can just press Ctrl C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this, it should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to mymodule.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default, I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken, just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why, that's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @ unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Thing which we need to do is in this you need to open this my module view.kt file, and in this file you will see some basic code related to web view. You just have to delete that code. Just keep this particular class. Okay, that's it. Rest everything you can delete. Now first you need to copy all these imports which I have, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Now we have marking this class as the @ unstable because here in this class we are using media 3 effect API, and given that this class was getting used in my module.kt, that's why we were marking my module.kt as well as unstable. Then here you can see this is our on image taken event, which will help us to send data back to React Native or Expo side. Here we get hold of our current activity. Here we initialize our frame layout. Here is our camera, here is our preview, and here is our image capture as well. Then here we initialize our button. Here we initialize our preview view. Here is our camera executor service. Here is our process camera provider. Then here we get hold of our back facing lens. Then here we set layout params to our frame layout and add it to our parent view. Then this viewfinder is basically the camera preview, so here we set the layout params for that as well. Here we call this method. I'll come back to this method later on why we need to do this. And then we add the viewfinder to our frame layout. Then we set the text background color, text color as well as alpha to our capture button. We also set layout params for it. Then we add the capture button to our frame layout. Then we do capture button dot set on click listener called take photo. Here we override on attach to window, and if it has camera permissions, then we do viewfinder dot post called setup camera. Then here we do on detach from window, where we just shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider as well. Now this is the method which we are calling. So this method is basically a hack. If you don't write this method, your viewfinder will not show your live camera preview. Instead it will just show a black screen. To learn more about this, you can just go to this particular URL. So this is a issue which has been open in React Native's repo since past 8 years. That's why we need to use this hack. Then here we call setup camera method, where we get hold of our camera provider future. We add a listener to it as well. Then we bind the camera use cases. Inside bind camera use case, we get the camera width as well as height as well as the rotation. Then here we get hold of our camera provider. Then we do camera selector dot builder. Then here we pass require black facing lens. Here we initialize our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector as well. Then here we initialize our preview view. Here we initialize our image capture as well. Then here we have this use case group builder, where we add the preview use case as well as image capture use case. Then here we initialize our media 3 effect as well. Now this entire code is for mapping white to green lookup table. Now I am not really an expert on this, even I have copy pasted this code. So here you can see length is equal to 3. Then we create an array within an array within an array. Then here is our scale. Then we just loop 3 times and then just like assign values to this particular array variable. And here you can see I'm passing this green color, right? But instead of green you can pass whatever color you feel like. Then we do media 3 effect dot set effects, single color LUT dot create from cube and map white to green lookup table. Then here we do use case group builder dot add effect media 3 effect. Okay, then we unbind our camera provider. We bind it to the life cycle. We assign it to this variable over here. Then here we have the take photo, where we get hold of our image capture. We initialize the file name as well. Then we initialize content values by passing the display name mime type. And if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file option by passing in the content resolver, external content URI as well as content values. Then we do image capture dot take picture, and here we override this method. So inside on image save we get the URI of the saved image. So we send it back to React Native side. Okay, so using this particular bit of code. Then here we unbind our camera provider. This is just a helper method just to check whether we have camera permissions or not. And here we have just defined this 2 variables for our use case. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.